Now let's walk through the process of training and saving a Sklearn model. All right, so now here we are in the notebook. So first, we're going to import all the needed libraries. Then we're going to load the data. So here we go. This is the data set, and we're checking the first couple rows here. Okay, so let's take a look. How many labels are there in the data set? So there are 3 labels, 0, 1, 2. So now we're going to split the data into the train test sets like this. And we're going to train the model using a random forest classifier. It is important to include the random state, the seed here, so that we can make sure the process is reproducible. Okay, and then we can train the model like that, and we can test the model using the test set like this. All right, not bad, because we're getting 97% accuracy without doing anything. That is pretty good. So now the model has been trained. Let's give it a try in terms of using the model. So we're going to define this function here. What it does is that it's going to grab a random row from the data set, and then it is going to send that random row as input to the model to make predictions, and it is going to compare that prediction with the true prediction, the true label. So this is the function defined, and then we're going to run the function. Okay, here we go. This is the input we provided. And here is the prediction. This is a class 1, and the true label is class 1. Perfect. So let's try another one. Remember, this is a random prediction. Every time it is going to pull a random row from the data set. So this time, as you can see, it is another different row, and this is perfect again, right? So the prediction is 1, and the real label, it is 1 as well. Okay. Good. Now we are going to save the model. So in this case here, what we can do is we can save the model using joblib, this library. Okay, so we can name the target model file name like this, and then we can use joblib.dump to save the model like this. So I'm saving in the current folder, and I can just provide the model file name like that. Once the model is saved, we can reload it. This will be useful later on because say you are going to deploy the model, you need to retrieve it first so that you can deploy it onto GCP. Okay, so in order to load the model, you can just use joblib.load. And then again, because the file is in the current folder, we're just going to load it from there. And once the model is loaded, we can then directly proceed with scoring the model like this. Okay, so remember, when we were saving the model, we were basically saving this model object. So then after we reload the model object is live again, and then we can directly do the score. That's the reason why. Okay, so let us reload the model and test the model. Okay, perfect. We're getting exactly the same accuracy as before. So that's good. So before we proceed further to deploy the model, let's first test the model. I mean, let's get the test data ready. Okay, because this is important in terms of testing the deployed model later on once we have the model deployed on GCP. So let us get this ready. What I'm going to do is just to grab the first 3 rows of the data from the test set like this, and I'm going to convert it to Python lists. This will be important because we are going to use a JSON input format, and in terms of JSON data, you cannot have a NumPy data format in there. So that's why. And we're going to now prepare the So this is done. Next, we're going to prepare the labels too. okay, so that later on when we test the model's performance, we can compare with this. So that is done, and this final step here is really to get the JSON string ready, so that later on we can directly use this JSON input data with the GCP deployed model. Okay, so the instance is variable. It contains this data structure there with all the input data, and we're going to make this a dictionary. And once we're done, we can use the JSON.dump string. Okay, dump s means dump string. We can use this function basically to convert this into a JSON string, so that later on we can use it. So that is all done, and we are going to next in the next video we're going to deploy the model.